welcome to the second Fragments of Silicon review of the week. Hopefully this one won't be interrupted by power outages. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, this is kind of the business of live recordings. Sometimes your power goes out because of rain, and, thankfully our equipment seems to have moved past the point where, if I drop, the entire apparatus drops.
So at least one of those Skype updates was probably good for something.
Yeah. Yeah. We were testing out the Discord in conjunction with our reviews, but we have a problem playing our intro music. That we haven't figured out what's the problem with, but it's an immaterial thing since Skype will continue to work even without me. So on that note, second game is Rise and Shine, a run and gun game in the style of, say, Contra or Metal Slug.
Well, it wishes it was. Yeah, let's say it wishes it was Contra.
We'll get to that. But I'm like, there's also some light platforming in it. But really, you'll probably be jumping over like projectiles more than actual platforming. And it's a game that's also steeped in retro references, but surprisingly, it's not a retro style game. In the sense that it's got modern art. It looks like a modern 2D game with high definition assets and all that stuff. It basically does not look like an NES game, which is a bit of kudos there, because not for nothing, I'm a little burnt out on the retro aesthetic. Also worth noting, this game is very, very meta. Very meta. Like, it's definitely something in the style of Adult Swim's humor. Like, Rise and Shine takes a place on a place called Game Earth. I'm sorry, it's not particularly
spelled a little bit differently, but
yeah, I'm like, it's got places like you have to go to RPG Town, and stuff like that.
I hate RPG Town. Everybody there just says the same thing over and over again.
That's some of the it's like, I'll be honest, when it comes to retro humor and retro references and all that stuff, it's pretty by the numbers. Like, I saw references to everything from, Zelda, Mario, Duck Hunt, Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania. It's your standard who's who of 8-bit classics. It's nothing bad, but it's nothing that it hasn't been done before in a whole bunch of other games. That being said, there is a lot. It takes itself pretty seriously, like shockingly seriously, because I suppose the most clever use of the retro stuff is, like, it's actually integrated into the plot. Infinite respawning is a plot point in the game. Unfortunately, I did not get to, I hardly ever get enough time or wherewithal to play through an entire game. But I think I got about through 80% of the game. Like, it's not a long game. It's like how long it lasts. It depends on a huge factor, because I'll tell you what, my Steam time is not time played, for a very simple reason. This game will cramp your hands something fierce.
Like, it's better playing on a mouse and keyboard over a controller, but it's still not great.
Yeah, I'm like, and I suppose we'll get the reason for each. The first reason is, do not play this game with a controller. Do not play this game with a controller. Do not play this game with a controller.
Now, I don't hear that advice very often, so...
I'm like, I know, it's a 2D running gun, but I have to do this because... So the if you play it with the twin stick style, the analog control is very twitchy. Like, I got stuck on a boss, and I was having I was just stuck. It was really difficult because I couldn't aim properly.
Mhm.
This, it's like this is. There's a lot here that's very antithetical to the run and gun play style. Now, it's like it's a game that demands precision at points, and not surprisingly, you get you get more precision out of a mouse than you do an analog stick.
Yeah,
And
because oh look, cursor.
yeah, I'm like, and yeah, you get an actual a targeting reticule. In fact,
Like you get like this little laser pointer even on like if you're watching the stream, even on the controller, but it still kind of wiggles a bit, and you can't tell exactly where you're doing from range.
yeah. The point is, like, I managed to beat the boss, pretty quickly actually, because what the controller adds to this game is nothing but a lot of fake difficulty. I wasn't having a problem because of the challenges inherent to the game. I was fighting against the controller, pure and simple. I tested it with two control styles, and one was objectively better.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. I will say that jumping and switching weapons and all that stuff is a bit clunkier on the keyboard, but nothing you can't get past.
Yeah.
But absolutely play this with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, and I think you can also bind the weapon switching to your mouse wheel if you so desire.
Yeah, you can weapon switching. I put the reload there. I mean, you can keybind, so both your controller or keyboard and mouse. It's like believe me, I will always appreciate key bindings because it allows me to set up, the control style I like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I also mentioned that this game will also cramp your hands even with a mouse and keyboard because you play as a duo called Rise and Shine. Rise is the kid, Shine is the gun. It's a sentient gun, protector of the land.
Wielded by the legendary hero, yada yada yada.
Yeah, the legendary hero, by the way, dies because he ran out of respawns. I'm not sure why.
That's probably explained at the end, but
yeah,
his player forgot to put in or didn't have any more quarters.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
supposedly the wielder of Shine is supposed to have unlimited respawns, but
maybe he got disarmed first.
No, he handed the gun to you, but that's...
Oh, well then, I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I don't know. Why did you think I was an expert? I don't know shit.
Anyway, so the biggest problem is this game never evolves past a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and if you don't know why that's a problem, like, your pistol is typically your default weapon in these running guns, but in this case, you shoot one shot at a time. That means every shot has to be, if you're doing the rapid fire, you're basically clicking down on the mouse.
Yeah, you're semi-auto at least.
Oh, there's no hold and fire thing?
No, there is no rapid fire weapons in this game. That was unconscionable.
How many hits do things take to kill?
What if you hit him in the head?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends. It depends because further on in the game you get enemies that take more bullets. Especially when you get to bosses and stuff.
But yeah, like if you're getting body shots, it's gonna take a while to kill stuff.
Because I was just thinking, having to click each time you want to shoot a bullet is less not okay. I will say if things die in like one hit most of the time. Yeah,
I'm like, this is where the game went wrong. It's like, I understand it was like they kind of designed around this, but they kind of, because once you get to the bullet sponge enemies, that's why I had to take breaks. My hands were starting to cramp because of the constant, simulating rapid fire. And The design is kind of weird for a run and gun as well, because they're less stages and like compartmentalized set pieces, like, and each one is its distinct area.
Mm-hmm.
It, it's more like getting past an immediate challenge than getting overwhelmed by a lot of monsters some of the time. Also, there is like puzzle solving at
Yeah, like
points.
I'm doing right here.
Yeah, because you do. I'm like, I'm not. Once again, I'm not sure if you just exactly what kind of all the equipment and all the bullet types, but your two main, like, you got a bullet type that affects fleshy people, and you got electric bullets that affect robots and electric things. And you do need to switch from the two because like electric bullets will stun soldiers, but they won't kill them. You know, and it'll take a lot more bullets to kill a robot with a regular bullet, or you need the electric bullet to do something. Like like a highlight of the game was the Colossus battle in the heart. Um, anyway, and you also get at least three. Like, you get regular shot, you get seeker bullets, which you use primarily for puzzle solving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, or like to get secret things or stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend using that for regular, because you fire one at a time, and you
And
can't
there's
do
also
this.
some regular combat things where you're required to use this, like to hit an enemy
Right.
in their back.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is shoot past them and have it curve around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And later on in the game, you get an explosive variant, which is actually, once again, mostly used for puzzle solving and some getting past the enemy, because, well, what you're supposed to do, it shoots off at an arc until it's fully loaded, and then it'll shoot in a straight line and stick to something. Yeah, believe it or not, it's the arcing that's the important part, because you sometimes have to, like, open a door with a pressure plate, and you have to use your explosive shot as a weight, basically. Um, anything else beyond that? I don't know. Once again, I'll be honest. I rage quit after getting tired of playing the same area again and again. Like, that's kind of like, if you're not a fan of trial and error gameplay, do not pick this game up, because this is the name of the game here. You're going to be playing areas over and over again until you get it down. You have to memorize stuff.
Also, you don't have a whole lot of HP, but you do respawn instantly, so...
Yeah. It's just you will lose progress.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like in the middle of a set piece or something like that.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty lenient with some of the continues at some points, but it's still not the greatest.
Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate, because I really wanted to like this game. I really wanted to enjoy this game, but the problems just kept adding up to the point where I had to force myself to play this game after a while. Okay, I was so fed up with the game, with the controller, I was just done. But I was just like, you know what? Let me test the keyboard and mouse and see if that works. Yeah. It did. I was having some fun again. But and it's also worth noting that the jumping is pretty stiff.
Yeah.
Like
you jump by shooting from Shine, and you can do it twice.
Yeah. It's a lot.
So you're gun recoil jumping?
Yeah.
I'm like, graphically, the game looks pretty good. As mentioned, it's sporting as you can see from the footage, it's sporting a nice, like, modern HD look.
And also, the cutscenes are more comic book style.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. but
Like, yeah, sorry for me
I'll tell
failing, by the way, on the footage, though, because I'm at fairly small resolutions, like, capture. I can't really see anything.
you might want to see about having that bigger in the future.
Oh, yeah, I usually have it full screen, it's just OBS doesn't like that.
Ah,
Like, um, just keep in mind we're in the early days of our showing footage.
Yeah.
You know, also for those who are watching this live or on YouTube, don't expect our banner to go away. I don't want that to go away for a couple of reasons, which I won't get into here because we're in the middle of a review.
branding.
Basically.
Also, no, it's also to keep us safe from Content ID.
Yeah.
To keep our footage from being stolen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could stretch it differently, possibly, but yeah, whatever.
But I'm like, trust me, having that there is a good. It was actually a very forward thinking.
You're
anyway,
welcome.
I mean, it's not the best thing aesthetically, but whatever. Anyway, getting back to the game, the music. I don't know. It's adrenaline pumping, but indistinct. Like
Yeah.
I'm not remembering.
It's basically like classic video game music, to be honest.
Yeah. Let me see if this is one of those games where you can buy the soundtrack.
I didn't remember seeing an option for it, but I also wasn't really looking that hard.
Is this on Steam or?
Yes, this is a Steam game.
Okay.
Yes. Usually our games are on Steam. You know.
No, I just wasn't sure because I don't know why I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, there is no soundtrack option, at least from what I see.
It might be on the Adult Swim, like Bandcamp or something like that, but
you might be able to get it for free. Like, wouldn't surprise me.
Adult
Anyway,
Swim does like to release a lot of their music.
Of course, it's also worth noting Adult Swim did not make this game. It's from like Super Mega Team. That's not their full name, but it's a mouthful. Super Mega Hyper Awesome Team Go.
Yeah,
like that monkey show, only without part of it.
Yeah,
basically.
Like that.
Also, I'm shocked that someone else remembers that show.
Anyway, so the price. It is currently $15. I'm gonna say wait for a Steam sale.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're pretty good at these kinds of games, 15 isn't terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay any more than 15, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to run and gun on, say, Steam, the Metal, like, I'd say pick up one of the Metal Slug games, although those are kind of overpriced on that service as well. I mean, Metal Slug for $8. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, you know, if you can deal with the faults of this game, yeah, it'll give you a good challenge. It's
Or if you're
funny,
really good at twin stick and have hands that are resistant to cramping.
Yeah. I'm like, my hands are not. You know. So ultimately, I'd say this game is a 6. You know, it's a solid game, but it's just got too many glaring problems for my taste to overly recommend. Petty Fan, what about you?
Again, if you're like a fan of the like humor of it and like the play style, I'd say go give it a try. You know,
but maybe wait for a sale.
Yeah, like unless you really want to play it. Like, this isn't, like, my must-have game go get right now.
Yeah, I don't know how long the game is, either, for price-wise.
Like I said, it'll probably last you about 6-7 hours, something like that.
I guess it's not that bad.
you know, you know, like I said, if you can deal with the hand cramping.
Mhm.
All right. So on that note, I think that'll about do it for Fragments of Silicon reviews for the week. Now, be sure to, you know, if you didn't listen live, this will be on YouTube, TalkShoe, um, iTunes. Still working on the Android stuff. Be patient, gentle.
We still have our
Listen.
workaround though, but yeah, the better option is still coming.
Yeah, it's like we might have to nail Mac down to the floor on this in order to get it on the Google Play Store.
Mhm.
It's not that hard, and it would have been set up like a year
Yeah,
ago.
it just involves time that Mac never
It
seems to
doesn't
have.
involve, yeah, it involves Mac being focused on this, and he's kind of spread thin. You know.
Mhm.
But anyway, we have shows throughout the week. We have a Tuesday interview with Phil Elliott from Square Enix Collective. Um, looking forward to it. And we'll see you then. Wish you good gaming.